When determining the strength of an economy, two major indicators are the unemployment rate and the labor force participation rate. These indicators renders important insight about the overall situation of the economy. For example, if we see that an economy has a higher unemployment rate, then following by the fact that a large number of people cannot find a job even though they want to work implies that the economy fails to use all of its resources, hence producing below its capacity. On the other hand, if an economy has a larger labor force participation rate, this implies that a large number of people is ready to contribute to the economy, and if the economy can use them properly, it may end up with greater output than an economy with a lower labor force participation rate. Having said that, it might be necessary to elaborate on these terms to grasp the concept deeper. When determining the strength, the phenomena that a person who is actively looking for a job is unable to find work is defined as unemployment. Unemployment helps us to have a greater understanding of the health of an economy. The most frequent measure of unemployment is the unemployment rate, which is the number of unemployed people divided by the number of people in the labor force. On the other hand, the labor force participation rate is a measure of active workforce of an economy. This rate indicates the proportion of all people aged between 15 to 64 who are employed or are actively seeking work. This rate is calculated by the following formula. Even though these two rates serve the same purpose, which is determining the health of an economy, there is a subtle difference between these two rates. Because of taking into account the people who have given up looking for work, the labor force participation rate is often thought the better indicator of an economy than the unemployment rate, which is often criticized for undermining the true number of unemployed as it fails to take into account those who have unwillingly dropped out of the workforce. Some economists argue that the labor participation rate and unemployment data should be considered together to better understand an economy's real employment status. There are a large number of literature and theories predicting the impact of unemployment on the economy depending on the situation and modalities of the economy. These includes lower GDP for the economy, increase in social problems, political unrests, lower budget revenue and many more. Therefore, policies should be taken to keep the unemployment rate in the minimal level to accelerate the economic growth. The labor force participation rate is a broader measure than the unemployment rate in identifying the workers available to produce goods and services in an economy. In other words, it points to the potential of all productive workers in a society. Looking at the unemployment rate may not provide the right insight unless we look at the labor force participation rate. It has potential. Even though these